Good morning and welcome to Ports and Palaces podcast. It is October 21st, and today we are talking about all the cool things that you can do on a rest day at Disney World.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kirsten.
And this is Chad.
Welcome to Ports and Palaces podcast. Like Chad said, today we're going to go over the 10 things to do on a rest day at Disney World. So you're going to hear a lot of times we're going to say, you have to take a rest day at Disney World. Disney World is huge. It's not just we're going to go and do these 6 days of parks and just have a great time. Like, you've got to rest. I think in Disneyland, you can kind of get by without a rest day if you really want to, because the parks are close together. They're a little smaller. But Disney World, you have to take a rest, especially like with the heat and the humidity. I mean, it just drains you. So we thought this would be a great time to discuss everything that you should do when taking that rest.
First up is the pool areas. These are found at almost every single hotel location on property.
Yeah, on property is always going to have at least one pool. I think the higher up in tiers, so if you think, moderates or deluxe, they're going to have like more pools or like better theming. Something to keep in mind is that value resorts do not have slides. So if you really want a water slide, you're going to want to go moderate or deluxe. But then my friends that stay off property, this goes for you too. When you're looking at a hotel, look to see, if it has a nice pool. There's a lot of resort-based options in Orlando that have nice pools. We are actually heading out of town on a very last-minute cruise that we're so excited about. But when we were looking for an on-property hotel, it was just because we're so close in, those prices were just outrageous. So we're actually staying off property, but something we still looked at was a nice pool, something to do, something that are very close to pools are also like little playgrounds for kids. And those are going to be on property and off property. And so, even if you're not staying on property, still look for something for a resort that has a nice pool, some nice food options, something to just stay at the hotel, take a rest, not have to walk a whole lot, but still get some enjoyment. I know when you're looking at kids, everybody needs a break, but no one wants to sit in the hotel room for 24 hours. So make sure you're looking for a resort that has some nice amenities that you can enjoy.
Amenities, that's really the name of the game. Especially if you try to get a hotel close to Disney Springs.
Yes, those are nice too. You can walk over to Disney Springs and still get some exercise in. Then you're really close to Disney Springs, which is a whole nice free entertainment options. Obviously, the shopping is not free, and then there's some paid experiences over there, but it's not paid to get in. You can go enjoy some shopping and things like that. But next up on our list, which is very similar to the resort pools, would be to enjoy your hotel room. So sleep in, do some bed rotting, kind of just relax, watch some movies. If you're on property, you can actually connect your Disney Plus account to the TV, which is really nice. Do not forget to disconnect before you leave. We had that issue and then completely forgot about it. We were in Disney World over the summer and we're doing this exact thing. We had a long few days of cruise and parks, and we just wanted to literally sit in our hotel room and watch Disney Plus for a couple hours, and we forgot to log out. And someone in Kentucky was enjoying our Disney Plus account for a couple months because we completely forgot. So don't forget to log out. But that is something, if you're on property, just to make sure that you are getting some time kicking up your feet. We also like these little, what are they? They're like Dr. Scholl's like foot bags is what I call them, but that's probably not what they are. But they've got like Epsom salt and they warm your feet up really well and keep them cool. It's got that like icy hot effect. And so we like to do those either after the park days or on a rest day, just to give our feet a little bit of a zhuzh.
That'd be a good topic to do is essential gadgets for
like packing
while you're at the park.
Yeah, maybe next time. But so that's our next tip is, yes, stay in your resort hotel. I know for our family, we can't do it all day, but we typically like to go in waves. So we'll wake up, we'll, go get some breakfast real quick. We'll sit in our hotel room for a while, watch some movies, then go out maybe to the pool for a little bit, come back to the hotel, watch another movie. And then we usually do something nice for dinner, but make sure you're resting, you're kicking your feet up and kind of trying to relax in the AC for a little bit.
This may not correlate because you can connect to Disney Plus through the TV set on pretty much any property's rooms, but I know we like to pack as a backup option an Amazon Fire Stick to be able to plug into the TV. Now, please don't forget your Fire Stick as you're packing up and leaving, because you'll probably never get it back.
Yeah, there's a little bit of zhuzhing to get it to connect properly. If you want us to send you some instructions on that, you can also typically Google it. But there are a few like settings you have to turn on the TVs. But when our daughter was little, she like had specific shows that she watched to go to sleep. I know that was our fault to set her up like that, but and we knew we needed access to YouTube to watch those, and so we would bring our Fire Stick to kind of encourage her to go to sleep.
Up next, we kind of mentioned it already, Disney Springs. A lot of shopping options, a lot of great eating options for lunch and dinner. I recommend the Boathouse. I really love that place. They've got dueling pianos there, which is fun. So yeah, and they'll play all kinds of music. A lot of the shopping there is great too. They've got something for everybody. They have what's the cookie place? The weird
Gideon's Cookies that we had to wait in line forever.
Yeah,
they were okay. I think we prefer Summer House on the Lake. We didn't have to wait, and the cookies were just as good. But
I don't care for the demonic depictions, but I do enjoy their cookies.
The cookies were good. Last time we got them, we went first thing in the morning when they opened. So there was a line when we first got there, but then it went okay. We were in and out with 30 minutes by the time it opened. And then we actually drove home. So we didn't finish eating those cookies till probably a week later. And they stayed fresh for, I think by the week period, they were getting a little stale, but I mean, up to a week, that was pretty good. There's also, we just mentioned Summer House on the Lake is really good. There's Raglan Road, which is really good over there in Disney Springs. We like Homecoming, especially for brunch. Yeah. That's a good one.
That was good.
Chef Art Smith's. If you can go during like the Halloween and holiday season, the Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar will convert to like themed. And so that's kind of fun to do. There's also a bunch of activities. There's those, I'm going to call them wrong, but like the aqua cars, the cars that go on the water. Cool. There's that aerophile. I'm totally butchering words today, but the hot air balloon that goes in the air and comes back down. There's a bunch of little activities. There's like a bracelet making thing.
They have cool places to go to as well, like the giant Lego store that's there.
World of Disney really is there.
Cool. Yeah.
They've got some fun themed restaurants for kids too, like T-Rex and Rainforest Cafe. Not the best food, but the theming is fun.
Definitely T-Rex, you are definitely there for the atmosphere and for the, okay, I marked it off my list.
Yeah.
I don't have to come back here.
Yeah. And there's a lot of sweets there. There's Amorette's Patisserie. You can tell we are not fancy. I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but there's also that Goofy's Candy World, Goofy's Candy Company. That's really fun. So there's a lot of things to do there. You could spend all day there. It is a lot of walking. Like I wouldn't try to spend all day there. You'd be walking back and forth, but there are lots of things to do. Splitsville is there, the like upscale bowling. They've got the Coca-Cola store and like the rooftop bar over there. Cirque du Soleil has a show over there, which is really cool. House of Blues is over there. So, I mean, there's a ton of stuff to go do in Disney Springs. And like we mentioned when we first said Disney Springs, there's no like park entrance or like ticket required to go, and parking is free, I believe, as well. We've always done on property, so it's for sure free for us, but I think it's free for everybody.
Yeah.
They never make us pay.
One thing to note, if you are a Disney pin collector, this is just personally something I've noticed, is that Disney Springs, the shops tend to have a lot more diverse Disney pins that compared to what you can find in the parks and some of the shops there. So really look into the shops at Disney Springs, specifically, what was it, Disney?
The World of Disney.
The World of Disney. Check out the Star Wars store that's there. I can't remember the name right now.
I always say Launch Bay, and I know that's very much Trading Post. Is it Trading Post or that's at Disneyland? Here, you keep talking. I'll look it up.
I think it's a chain. I think they made it a chain, and so there's multiple Star Wars Trading Posts.
Maybe. Let's see.
Anyway, there's a lot of cool pins that you can get there. I got this one that was a backdrop of Coruscant, but then a X-Wing was...
There's actually two. There is
two?
the Trading Post and the Galactic Outpost.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, check out both of those. Is one of them in Disneyland?
Those are both in Disney Springs.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
clearly we need to check out both because I've only ever done the one that's kind of over there by
in the strip mall.
Boathouse and things like that. Yeah.
Anywho, enough talk about that. What you got next, Kirst?
Next up is on property. So if you are an off property guest, you would have to pay to park at either a park for the day or get a dining reservation to be able to park at a hotel. But the next one is to use the on property transportation. So buses are kind of like we try to avoid the buses if we can, but we really like the Skyliner. We talk about the Skyliner a lot. It's basically a ride in and of itself. It has a hub at Caribbean Beach. That's its main hub. And then from Caribbean Beach, you can go all the way to Epcot and back with a little stop at Riviera if you want to. And then there's also a line from Caribbean Beach to Hollywood Studios, and then a line from Caribbean Beach to Pop Century and Art of Animation. So it's really fun. We try to make a point every time we go just to hop on the Skyliner at least once. We love Caribbean Beach. You'll hear us talk about Caribbean Beach a lot. So that kind of plays into it. We like to stay there and use the Skyliner. Our favorite parks are Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So that's an easy way for us to be able to get to both parks quickly. But it is just a ride in and of itself. I think if you were to do all three lines, so Caribbean Beach to Epcot and then Caribbean Beach to Hollywood and the Caribbean Beach to Art of Animation, it'd be what, an hour?
Something like
maybe.
that, yeah.
The only thing is you do have to get on and get back off at each end of the line. So like they won't let you just stay. You have to get off, walk around the building and get back on. But I mean, there's so much to see and it feels like a ride. I really like it. But
let me add something here.
Okay.
So if there are fireworks at, say, Epcot, Hollywood Studios that night, and you don't have a park ticket, but you're just having a regular rest day, one great thing to do is if you are staying at Art of Animation or Pop Century or at Caribbean Beach, is to hop on the Skyliner at night and actually watch the fireworks from the Skyliner ride.
yeah. And there's actually, I found this, someone else made it, but I'm happy to share. It's a Skyliner crawl, kind of like a bar crawl, but you can either make it adult friendly if you want to do like a bar crawl on the Skyliner route, or you can do like scavenger hunts, like make it a Skyliner scavenger hunt. So that could take, all day if you really wanted it to. And each hotel participates and it has like things you need to find at each hotel along the Skyliner route. So that's something that could take all day, but get you on the Skyliner, get you checking out the hotels along the Skyliner and just kind of seeing some different things. I have a lot of clients that want to stay at like All Stars or, Port Orleans, Riverside, something that's not along transportation routes, but then they go do this during the day just to check out other resorts and check out other transportation, things like that. The Skyliner's counterpart is the monorail. It's not as fun for us, but a lot of people will say like the monorail is like their primo transportation options. It goes around Seven Seas Lagoon between Magic Kingdom, not Caribbean Beach. Let me check it. Between Magic Kingdom, the Contemporary, Polynesian, and Grand Floridian, and makes like a circle around that lagoon. And then you can also take it to what's called the Ticket and Transportation Center. That is actually where you would park if you were going to Magic Kingdom. And then you could take the monorail into Magic Kingdom. But from there, you can transfer and you actually go. It takes you to Epcot. And that's really fun. It actually takes you inside Epcot a little bit so you can see Epcot. That's pretty cool. So that's something fun to do. And then
on a case-by-case basis, the ferry boats are nice too.
Yeah.
Especially if you are needing to get to a reservation at 1900 Park Fair or
you could take a ferry.
Like that.
Yeah, the ferry boats go around Seven Seas Lagoon to different resorts. And then there's also that like friendship boat. It's not a full-size ferry, but it takes you from Epcot to Hollywood Studios and those resorts over there. So there's a lot of fun transportation. We like to do that just to get out of the hotel for a little bit, but enjoy the amenities. And our daughter loves any and all sorts of transportation, things like that. So it's really fun. That's a nice free piece of entertainment there.
Our next recommendation is resort hopping. Now, don't necessarily try and go from pool to pool. That's frowned upon, and especially the high end and mid range resorts, they actually make you get a tag or an armband.
Yeah.
And they will check it to make sure that you are actually staying at that resort. And if they don't see that, they will kick you out.
Yeah. Some resorts that are like what I call sister or sibling resorts, they do share. So like if you're at Port Orleans Riverside, you could go to French Quarter pool or vice versa. All the All-Stars typically let you go to all the pools there depending on where you're staying. But for the most part, if they're not like a sibling resort, you're not really supposed to hop to different pools. The pool bar is one thing if you want to go check out a drink or whatever, but I hear it a lot, like people staying at Pop want to go to Art of Animation pool, but you're really not supposed to pool hop, but you can resort hop. We just talked about a bunch of transportation options, and that's a great way to check out other resorts. There are a ton of activities. There's food options. Yeah. Contemporary has a really nice quick service spot where you could just go get quick service or just check out some other resorts, see what's out there. There's sometimes you can think, oh, my hotel is where I need to stay, but like there's so many other things to check out and do. I think about this a lot during like the holiday season because all the resorts has a lot of like Christmas trees, Christmas decorations. And so it's nice to be able to hop to all those different resorts and check that out. So that's something definitely that you could check out.
Something kind of cool that most new participants of Disney World don't know is the monorail actually stops inside the Contemporary, which is really cool.
That is really cool.
But now to Kirsten's point, from Pop to Art of Animation and vice versa is a really easy walk. If you're in Caribbean Beach and you want to go to Art of Animation or Pop, take the Skyliner, or if you want to go the opposite way, go to Caribbean Beach and eat there. That's great too. You can use the Skyliner, no problem. For other resorts, they have bus routes that run between the resorts and the different parks and stuff like that. So
something that we should probably mention if we're going to talk about resort hopping would be like a resort bus is not going to take you to another resort. So like you can't, if you're staying at, let's say Coronado Springs, you can't hop on a bus to Grand Floridian. So they don't resort bus. So what you would have to do is go to a park and then from a park go to that resort. Now you don't have to go in the park, but that's particularly for like bus transportation. So you'd have to take a bus. Let's say I'm at Coronado Springs. I want to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I might take a bus over to Animal Kingdom and then a bus from Animal Kingdom to Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now that does get easier if you're on a hotel that has that transportation added. So, you've got your Skyliner resorts and your monorail resorts. So if I'm staying at Contemporary and I want to go to the Grand Floridian, I have an option of the monorail. Or if I'm staying at the Riviera and I want to go to Beach Club, I have the option to take a Skyliner from Riviera to Epcot and then walk over to Beach Club from there. So that's where that transportation comes in. That's really nice because other than that, if you're taking a bus, you have to take the bus to the park and then the park to the hotel. You can also get a minivan, but those are not free. So we're trying to stick to things that you can do without adding a whole lot of money to your pocket.
Our next topic is the different eateries that you can go to, different restaurants that you can go to from resort to resort. We highly recommend 1900 Park Fair. We also recommend Banana Cabana. That is a really good spot to go to because they have some of the same food options as the restaurant that's inside the building.
Yeah. So for reference, 1900 Park Fair is like the character dining in Grand Floridian. And then they do a breakfast that we really, really like. And they also have a nice dinner. And then Banana Cabana is the actual pool bar over in Caribbean Beach, but they serve very similar foods to Sebastian's Bistro over in Caribbean Beach. And so we like to do that a lot. Some other options are, if you're looking for character dining, there's Storybook Dining over at Wilderness Lodge. There's Ohana. Ohana is a character breakfast, but then a really nice all you care to enjoy dinner. No characters, but really good food. Grand Floridian has the Grand Floridian Cafe, which is delicious for brunch. And so there's a lot of food options that don't require you to go to a park that you could do at resorts. We already mentioned a lot of things at Disney Springs, but it's funny to me how many clients I have that say, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Disney Springs. Like I've been so focused on the parks and what to do there. Like I didn't even think about it.
Restaurants there too.
Yeah. So don't discount a rest day. Doesn't mean you have to sit in your hotel. Just like we said, you can go check out some really nice food options that don't require you to go into the park. Now, if you do want to stay in your hotel, though, you're like, I'm not driving or transporting anywhere. I am staying right here. Your hotel has amenities. So if you go back to your hotel lobby, you will see they usually have like a recreation calendar for each month. And they do like Mickey tie-dye with shirts or pillowcases. They do s'mores typically every night. They do like movie on the lawn a couple times. Oh gosh, what else do they do? I mean, typically every pool has like a couple hours a day where they do like pool activities with the kids. They do scavenger hunts.
Especially at the pools, they'll do like a dance along. They'll have music play or have one of the lifeguards sing or something. Yeah.
I know over the summer they were doing like Cool Kid Summer and they had characters coming into the lobby. I think they're still doing that. I was looking for a client that's going in a couple months and I believe they're still quietly doing it. They're just not promoting it as much, but definitely ask the cast members working at your hotel because those activities are there. Now, if you are off property, it's kind of a hotel only guest type thing. So that would definitely be a perk for staying on property, all those nice amenities and extras. But off property resorts have really nice things as well. I know we really like the Drury over in Disney Springs area, and they do like the happy hour with the food and the drinks. And so there's definitely things that you can do off property as well. But the on property hotels win out here in the extra activities, the things to do, because they know that people are going to spend time in their hotel because it's exhausting. Disney World is exhausting.
It's a lot to walk around. Yeah. Just a tiny little note. I know we're talking about Disney World, but you know, if you're wanting to go to Disney World, but you're not wanting to have to walk a ton, I recommend trying to go to Disneyland. It's two parks, much more condensed. A lot of the same rides are there. All the same amenities are there. Not all of them, but most. But it's a much easier time.
Yeah, Disneyland is a nice starter. It's a very, very nice park. It never makes us as tired as Disney World does. I don't know if that's fully just because of its size. Definitely the park's proximity is nice. I do think it also has to do with the weather. Like, I think the weather in Florida is just absolutely draining.
It's definitely a dry heat versus a wet heat. Yeah. So our next topic is water parks. There are two well-known water parks, Blizzard Beach and
Typhoon Lagoon.
We've been to Blizzard Beach. We enjoyed it quite a bit. We especially liked the family slide. We did not like the walk up to the family slide.
I shouldn't say we. I don't really like anything that's like water related. So it's not so much the actual like being in the water and having fun. It's the after part when you're like on land and you just feel wet and sticky. I hate that. And so as much time as we've been to Disney World, we don't go to the water parks a whole lot. We've kind of been using that 2025 free perk on check-in day and trying to check them out, but it's still not my favorite. So when we say like we don't have a whole lot of experience with these because we just don't go to them. Because of that, we did not realize that you had to walk up one set of stairs to get to all of the like the water slides in Blizzard Beach. And little spoiler, we're going to go to Typhoon Lagoon on our little last minute trip. And so I'm willing to bet the same thing happens there where you like walk up to all of the slides all at one time. But we did not realize that. And so we took probably a full perimeter loop of the water park because we could not figure out how to get to the water park slide that we wanted, which was the like family
And then on
one.
top of that, we walked some really steep and long stairs all the way up to the tip top.
We gone up and down the stairs a couple times because we kept asking cast members, like, we're trying to get to this one ride. And they were like, yeah, you're here. Just go up the stairs. And we would go up the stairs and be like, where are we going? And no one would tell us like, oh, you go up the stairs and then turn a corner and there's another set of stairs. So we kept going up the stairs because everyone kept telling us to go up the stairs, going to the same place and being like, where are we supposed to be? And then we finally found it after what, like a couple out, not a couple hours, like maybe an hour of trying to find it. And of course it was
completely different from what people were telling us.
Had been telling us, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And it was June. It was hotter than the surface of the sun. And so by the time we got off that ride, we were like, yeah, that wasn't worth it. Like,
yeah, the slide that we went on was really fun. And honestly, I wanted to go again. But the other option to get to the top of the mountain was a ski lift.
Yeah.
And that didn't seem very safe. And it also kept stopping or temporarily
we kept
down.
thinking the line was low, and then it was because it wasn't working.
Right.
And so yeah, that it was fun. We detoured away. Our daughter, for anyone that doesn't know us, but our daughter is on the younger side, and so she couldn't quite go on some of the other like single tube or two-person tube slides. Yeah. And so we just kind of decided after we did that one family ride, we were like, hey, we're just going to do like the other activities. And so
kiddie slides.
Yeah, we went to the Frozen area, which was so much fun. We could have spent all day over there.
She loved it.
Yeah, they had like kiddie slides and really what we could have done, we didn't just because we're maybe a little too protective, but we could have just sent her up there on her own and let her slide down. Like, it's very safe. There's a ton of cast members everywhere. And then there's another like more, I wouldn't say adult, but like older child. So like 8 to 12-ish area. Everyone can go, but I would say it's probably more geared to that. They had like a skyliner, like
the
zip line.
Oh, the zip
line?
The
zip line that you could take out of like a little chute and then drop into a pool.
Yeah.
And then they had those they made them look like frozen ice blocks, but those things that you would step on and hold on to the net above you and like try to balance on them. So I would say that's more geared to like older kids. They had some older like kids slides. So like I wouldn't have trusted our daughter to go up. It was kind of far away to get to the top of those slides. But there were kids that were older, I'd say like 10, that were doing them by themselves. And so that was really fun. And honestly, what we probably should have done is just focused on that. The lazy river was long. It was really fun.
It was great, though.
And they provide inner tubes and things like that for you to use. The kid ones are fun. Yeah.
What's cool is it has water features, too. You go through a cave. You do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, that was really fun. And then the surf pool, I'm going to say, is probably fun. The wave pool, I don't know if we just timed it wrong, but
we never saw the waves.
Yeah, we must have gotten there like right when they ended and then just decided to head out before they started again because we were just kind of standing there waiting on the waves and they never came. So, but I'm sure that's fun too. Something fun, this isn't something we were going to talk about, but over the summer, Typhoon Lagoon, which is the other water park, usually does H2O glow nights, and that's a fun way to see the park maybe in less heat. And they do more like characters.
It's like a dance party, right?
Yeah. But it's a nice way to see the park with lower crowds and it's not as hot. So that's something fun. But yeah, we have experience with Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon. We will have experience soon.
It's coming.
They have coerced me one last time and I said, just because it's free, fine. So, but yeah, getting back to topic, that is definitely something fun to do on a rest day. if you are staying on property, you get for free, kind of like we just briefly mentioned a couple times, but if you are staying on property, you get a free water park on your check-in day. So that's something to take advantage of. Obviously, your check-in day, you're not like wanting a rest day. You're kind of excited, but that's the day that they offer it. This is something really, really nice to think about for split stays. So split stays aren't something I typically recommend because it's a lot of moving around, but this could be a good way to use your rest day. If you move to another resort, typically your first resort will move your luggage to the second resort, and then you could go take advantage of that check-in day water park, but it's really a rest day for you. So something to think about. I'm veering off, but if you're going to do a split stay, just remember also that your time kind of starts over. So like your 60 days for dining starts over. Your lightning lane booking starts over because it's attached to your hotel reservation. So while I think a split stay is really nice to enjoy that water park feature, just know there are some costs to that as well, depending on what you're really wanting to do. If you don't want to do a split stay, or you're like, no, I don't want to do a water park on our first day, we want to go to Disney Springs or something else, there are ticket options that include your water park. So, and they're not that much more expensive than your regular tickets. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. The water parks are really fun. And then our last section, our last piece of advice for a rest day is the mini golf courses. So there are 2 on property. There's Winter Summerland, and that is actually right next to Blizzard Beach. So that's a really nice way to be able to knock out both, go to the water park when it gets busy, hop over to Winter Summerland, do some mini golfing. That was really easy in one bus stop because they're right together. The other one is Fantasia Gardens, and it is kind of off by itself. It's actually kind of close to the Swan and Dolphin Resort, over close to like between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So I would recommend doing like a Skyliner to Epcot to get to the back part of Epcot and then walking over there, or doing a bus to Hollywood Studios and then taking the boat to those places. So those are really fun and actually are included in your package. People don't realize that if you are a Disney World vacation package guest, so you booked a hotel with tickets, you get something called Magical Extras, and that includes mini golf. So that's something really fun to check out and go experience.
That's going to wrap it up for us this episode. If you like this podcast, be sure to follow, subscribe, whatever platform you are on. We are on YouTube. We are on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Feel free to leave a comment either on YouTube or on Spotify. We love input. We have our contact information. So if you want to submit a question or a topic that you want covered, we love to do that. We love to respond to your questions. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, not as much as on Instagram, but we're also on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Most of our audience is on TikTok.
TikTok and YouTube. YouTube has kind of become our preferred place to post. We still post on Instagram and TikTok, but we've just found the algorithm keeps changing on those, and we'll have like people that we'll engage with and really like conversing with, and then all of a sudden those people will disappear, and they'll come back a couple months later and be like, "Where were you? Like, we couldn't even find your videos anymore." And so we've just found that we like to spend most of our time on YouTube. So feel free to follow us over there. We're looking into some options on Facebook to do more connection and less just you guys watching videos and commenting, but like actually engaging with us. So we're looking at some fun activities and options for us moving into 2026. But other than that, that will do it for this week. I'm Kirsten.
And I am Chad.
Happy travels from all your ports to palaces.
This podcast is sponsored by Ports and Palaces Vacations. Whether you are wanting to check out a new port along a cruise line or see the palaces of Disney and Universal, our travel advisors make your dream trip a reality. Your next trip is just a click away.